Camera on you, starting it off.
Good to go?
Good to go.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Austin Spitzenberger. We're back in the studio today with Inaky Strick. What's going on, brother?
Hey man, how are you? Thanks
Good
for
to
having
see
me
you,
here,
man.
Yeah,
It's
for
glad
sure.
to finally meet. We've been engaging a lot online and in social media and stuff like that.
I know, I feel like I know you, and then
Yeah.
you're like, "Nice to meet you." I'm like, "Oh shit, we haven't met."
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what happens when you're building a personal brand, kind of like what I'm doing and what you're doing, and it's like, I feel like I already know you before
Yeah.
we've even met. So,
That's
anyways,
great.
yeah.
That means we're both doing the right thing.
Exactly. Cool, man. Well, let's dive into it. If you don't mind, just give me a brief background about, kind of who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born in Mexico City, moved to the Woodlands, Texas when I was 12 years old. I always knew I wanted to be successful. I didn't exactly know how I was going to do that. So when I went to college, I went to Texas State. I thought I was going to be a doctor because I thought that was the definition of success, a doctor or a lawyer, right? And then I started going to those classes and quickly realized that that was not my passion. So I switched majors over to business, still not knowing what I was going to do. The very last semester, I took a class for real estate finance, only because it fit nicely into my schedule so I wouldn't have to have Friday classes. Turns out I really loved that class, and I went above and beyond that class and learned more about real estate. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and that's what turned me on to real estate investing. And I never set out to be a top luxury real estate agent. I just wanted to be a real estate investor. And at that time, I had no money and I had no experience. So I said, how can I get both? And that's when I decided to become a real estate sales agent. So while I was learning about the business, I could also have an income for myself.
So basically, you got into this because the takeaway that I got was because you were trying to get out of a college class, or you were trying to align your schedule so you didn't have Friday classes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were trying to get back your time even back then.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you wanted your Friday. So you're like, if you wouldn't have done that, you'd maybe still be here, but that's what pushed you into real estate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I wanted freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. And so I was very intentional about what career I was going to go into or what business I was going to build. And so I spent a lot of thought into that. And I honestly felt like I was going nowhere. Like I felt that everything I tried back then in college it's not that the thing that I was doing wasn't working. It was more that I knew that after I grew that thing, it wouldn't give me the freedom that I wanted. So I spent a lot of time in figuring out what I was going to do before I went out and spent, it's been 10 years now building that thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk about the earlier days. Like, what did that look like? I saw a Facebook post from you recently, and it was talking about how things kind of compound over a long period of time. And I think it was a post you shared from maybe like 2015, so like a decade ago. So talk about like those earlier years in real estate, like about kind of how you were doing the same things over a long period of time, and like kind of your journey. Like, how were the earlier years? What did the earlier years look like for you?
The earlier years were straight grind mode, right? It was like I was working till 9 p.m. No matter what, 7 days a week. So I was just putting a ton of effort, a massive amount of effort. It's now changed, right? But back then, that's all I was doing. I was working until I couldn't work anymore. And the thing is I was just looking for that freedom. And I knew that if I put in the work ahead of time, later in life, it would compound over time. And I would be able to build systems, tools, skills, and leverage other people's money, and eventually have financial freedom, which I continue to chase all the time. And that goal always moves, right? Like you get to a certain point, and then there's always another level.
And you never even celebrate it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
celebrate it for maybe 24 hours, and you're like, okay, what's next on the list?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
I think that's something we all face as entrepreneurs. I think me especially, as soon as I hit a milestone, it's like, what's next?
exactly.
I was talking to a guy at the gym this morning, but it's like it's a blessing and a curse, because at the same time, that's what continues to propel you to keep performing.
Right.
But it's also like, okay, how do you stop and like enjoy the moment, right?
Well, for me, like this is a game, right? Like I see entrepreneurship and business building as a game, and like this is my game. Like I just enjoy it. Like I get to go do the things that I enjoy, and I get to build systems that serve me for my life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun though. Like I think that it's that way too, and I think at the end of the day, it's enjoyable knowing that you're building something for yourself and your family and your legacy. And it's no knock to anybody that has a regular job or things like that, but you're kind of building somebody else's dream in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. But even like for me personally, like the beginning stages before building my business, I mean, I had to do that, right? I had to work for 10 years. I had to, and I was in sales too. So like, to me, sales is the most invaluable skill that you can have. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure you can agree with that. But yeah, I mean that's just what it was, and that's how it was up front. But
And I agree with you. Like, I don't think that entrepreneurship is for everyone. Like, there's really low lows, right? And then there's really high highs. And so it's a roller coaster that you're riding. And you got to be really good at calibrating your emotions and figuring out what's next and what you're wasting time on. And really, it's not for everyone. And I would say that it's not for most people. And I would think those that go into entrepreneurship are a little bit wild.
yeah, and I think you have to have a very, very high level of self-belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to be very confident because you're essentially betting on yourself.
That's
Right.
right. You almost have to be delusional on yourself.
Right? It's crazy. And a lot of people, they can't do that, or they get the first bump in the road and they want to quit. And it's just like, you said it best, like the lows are low and the highs are high. And I think more often than not, the lows are low, right?
Yeah,
like I
right.
feel like it's more days like that, but it might come back to our centralized argument of like, do we even recognize the highs when we're in those, right? So like,
Yeah, you did it for like 3 seconds, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
and then-
great, we got it. Okay, what's next?
then we move on. But yeah, so I want to talk about what you do specifically. So what is it in real estate that you do? What is your business looking like? So somebody watching this, they're younger, they want to get into real estate, they want to be an agent, they want to be an investor, whatever the case may be. What does your business or businesses look like?
Yeah, so when I first got into it, it was investment heavy, right? Like I wanted to learn about the investment side of things. So I started in the Woodlands, Texas, and then I met a developer who had a huge project in Belize. And I had about a year and a half in the Woodlands building traction with my business, but I got the opportunity to move to Belize and work directly for this developer. So that would mean I would leave everything I've worked for behind and basically start over. But I knew what my goal was, which was to be a real estate investor. And I knew by surrounding myself with other investors and developers, I would get to that goal faster. So I took the plunge. I moved to Belize within a week of them offering me this job. And I had such a great experience working directly for the CEO that was developing a $250 million project in a foreign country. So I got to learn so much from that. After that, I went on to raise capital for mobile home park communities. And then after that, I went back onto the luxury side of things, selling residential homes here in New Braunfels in Central Texas. I now have a team of 3 agents, a director of operations, a digital strategist, and a transaction coordinator. So we really provide a full service to those people that are looking to buy or sell here in New Braunfels in Central Texas.
Okay, so started in the Woodlands. Belize took an opportunity to work for somebody, made money.
Yep.
And then moved back to Central Texas.
Yep.
And now you built your that's where you're at now, and your bread and butter is selling luxury homes in the Central Texas.
That's correct.
And you're acquiring real estate assets as you go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly right.
That's why I'm just tracking your process. So the Woodlands is, you don't have much of a footprint there or do much business there anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay,
I have
okay.
a lot of connections there, but I don't do much business there. I send business there.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like I've seen a couple other posts of like the coastal area, Port Aransas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you take those listings too, or are those more of like?
It's all client specific, right? So I have a builder developer that lives here in New Braunfels, and he's developing properties down there. So we're selling $2 million homes down in Port Aransas, and he's continuing to build more over time. So it's
a
more,
relationship
It's a
thing.
relationship thing. It's
So-
not that I went to Port A try to look for business.
So if I had some random one-off, would you take it if it fit your buy box of like, hey, I only sell houses of $2 million and up, and I had a $2 million house? I say, hey, I got this guy. Would you take it, or would you more be like, I kind of want to focus on the hill country?
Yeah, no, it all depends. As long as it was within, about 3 or 4 hours maximum here, I would probably still take it if it was a big enough project that made sense for me and my team. If it was outside of that, through the Sotheby's International Realty Network, I have partnerships that I can connect you with all over the U.S. and different parts of the world. They'll provide the same level of service that I do. So whenever I hand somebody off, moving to a different state or a different country, they know that they'll get the same level of service.
Sure. Is it common for? And I'm not an agent or broker or anything like that, so I don't know this stuff. Is it common for somebody to collect maybe a referral fee if you have an agent that you have a $2 million listing, you say, I can't take it, but I know I wanted them to get a really good service? Are you more of just like, hey, I'll just send it to a buddy, or is it kind of industry standard for people for them to expect a referral fee?
Yeah, that's part of the business model.
Okay, that's
right?
what I figured.
Yeah.
I would figure that it's like, hey, you're giving somebody your word that this person's going to do a good job, but like they didn't have to work for that lead either.
Correct,
So that's
correct.
easy money. To me, I'm taking that. I'm giving somebody a piece of the pie all day long.
Yeah.
That's my mindset.
And in reality, they did have to work for it because they had to be at an event where I was at, and we had to build a relationship. So there's a lot of that, right? Like I go probably 5 to 8 events per year that are exclusive to Sotheby's International Realty just to build relationships with agents in other markets. So whenever I'm handing somebody off, I'm not just handing them off to somebody random in that market. I actually have a relationship with her or with them, and I know their working style.
So you know what I do differently? We do like there's other property management companies where they're also agents and brokers too.
Yeah.
So they'll sign them and manage their home for 3 to 5 years. Then they get ready to sell or buy another one. Who do you think leverages that relationship?
Yeah.
After that, do you think it's the property manager that's the broker, or do you think they go back after 3 to 5 years of working with this property manager? Do you think they go back to their old agent most of the time?
They forget who their agent is.
Exactly.
The agents don't keep in touch with their clients.
Yeah, so that's why I asked that question, because I've thought about it before. I was like, okay, well, I'm kicking all these referrals out to agents that I like, know, and trust,
Yeah.
and I'm getting nothing back from a compensation perspective. So I'm like, should I just get my license and just collect referral fees as money? And I'm
Yes.
like, you said yes, but then I'm like, dude, I don't want to do the legwork. I don't want to take the classes. Like, I don't know if the return is really there for me, but it's easy.
It's 2 weeks and $1,500.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought about it, but also my one thing that we do different versus, and not most managers can buy and sell houses
Sure,
too,
yeah.
and that's just another way they have their hand in the cookie jar. But what I always tell agents is like, hey, like, if you send me somebody and they want to sell in 3 to 5 years, I'm just going to send them right back to you.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can sell the house twice.
Sure.
Right. So I like that as more of a value add of like, hey, I'm not making any money off of this.
Yeah.
And if they want to buy a second house because it's performing so well, I'm going to send it back to you.
Sure.
So would you rather have that value add? Or would you like what's going to, like, the question is, I guess, what's going to make me more money at the end of the day? Signing more clients that way, or collecting a little bit here and there by sending it back? But I guess I could do both.
I would say that I'm not the normal real estate agent, right? Like I'm in the top 1% in the US. So I have a very extensive business. The majority of agents only sell on average 2 homes per year. So they're not doing
Is
that much
that like an
transaction.
industry statistic? So
Yeah,
an
yeah.
average realtor sells 2 homes a year?
Or less. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like 1.8 or something like that on average when you look at all the agents in the United States.
Okay, gotcha.
So where I'm going with that is that most agents, because I just told you, right, it's 2 weeks and $1,500. It's a low barrier to entry to be a real estate agent. So there's so many of them, right? But the thing is, they don't run their business like a business. They run it like a job. And so they're not doing marketing. They're not following up. They're not keeping in touch with their clients. So,
They're showing the house themselves.
yeah. So, I mean,
Maybe.
you giving them the house. They may not be in business by the time that property is ready to be sold. So I would say get your license and get a referral fee.
That's a good point. I never questioned it that way. It may have happened just one time, and then in 3 to 5 years, they're like, hey, I'm not even doing that anymore.
Yeah. Most don't make it past their second year.
And then if they're like still doing it part-time, are they really somebody that you want to send business back to?
Exactly.
That's interesting, man. But now I got to go do the classes and
Yeah.
shit.
Hey, everything takes work.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know. That's a good point. I never thought about it that way. I was more thinking of it's one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, whenever I refer somebody, they're happy to pay that referral fee because, to your point, it was a client they didn't have. And whenever somebody refers me somebody, I'm also happy to pay that referral fee for that same reason. I'm
happy to do that for management as well. So like if somebody considers us, whether they're an agent, maybe not an agent, it's like, hey, I can, if 1 month is going to make me $2,000-$3,000 managing that house, I'm happy to throw that to someone's way, like, because I'm going to make that significantly more, like 10x that over a long period of time.
Sure.
So I'm willing to always work that out with people too, especially if we're like, competing against somebody else. Legally, we follow all the rules and all that good stuff. But
Right.
anyways, let's pivot. I like to get I might butcher the name. I like to get my haircut cut at Proper Men's Salon.
Yeah, Proper Salon for men.
I'm not just, this isn't an ad for them. I'm actually paying customer.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. What is it?
Proper Salon for men.
Proper Salon for Men. There we go. I knew it was something like that. But anyways, that's where I get my hair cut. I love it. It's a high-end men's experience, and I love the place. You are a partner owner in that something
That's
like
correct.
that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way that came about is I'm an investor, right? And both in real estate and in business. And I was going to my hairstylist, and I spent 2 years as her client. And every time we were in the chair, we would talk about business, about my business, about mindset, and we just got to build a relationship that way. Well, then she asked me to be her realtor to find space to expand. She wanted to grow her business. She actually ended up being the one that found the space. I helped her negotiate the lease and all of that process. And once she was about to sign the lease, I said, hey, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to finance this? Like, are you raising capital from investors? Like, do you have money saved
So she
up?
was in the process of starting one, or like
She had been doing proper for a while, but now she wanted to grow. She wanted to hire people. She wanted to basically grow the business.
Okay, gotcha. So she was working in the business, not on the business.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And so she was ready to move on to work on the business. And whenever I brought that question up, she said, if it was you, I would definitely partner up. I said, all right, well, let's run some numbers. And it took a couple of days, and we figured it all out. We put an agreement together. I became a business partner there, invested some capital into it to make it what it is today. And I mean, I give her all the credit for running the business, hiring the people, and everything. I was just the capital injection into it. Well, while building that business together, we fell in love, and she's now my fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that. So, fell in love with your stylist, then business partner. So, business partner became before engagement and all that stuff.
She was my hairstylist first, then she was
I'm
my
glad
client.
it worked out, man, because that's kind of dicey. It could be dicey.
Yeah, she was not about it at all. She did not want to have a romantic relationship with me because we had a business, and to her, the business was the most important thing. But I'm in sales, as you mentioned, and I knew that I just had to follow up.
Right. That's risky, but it also could be something very great, and it looks like it turned out into something very great.
Yeah, it's been
I
great.
love it. So
5
what?
years
And
later.
also, another thing that brings a question to mind is like, actually, it may not be that risky if roles and responsibilities are laid out and clearly established, right? So like, you can't be if her roles and responsibilities are this, you can't be stepping on this kind of stuff.
Right.
If you're the financial guy, you run the P&L, whatever, that's your role. If she manages employees, that's her role, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that. Like, how do roles and responsibilities have to be successfully divided for that to like be a happy marriage?
One of my mentors once told me, if two of you have the same skill set, one of them is not needed. So from the very beginning, we said, okay, I'm on the back end, business operations, dealing with all the contractors, setting up the LLC, getting the accountant, all of that stuff. You're gonna run the front operations, hiring a manager, hiring all the people. Like, I don't know anything about cutting hair, but I own a hair salon for men.
Sure.
But I know that she does. That's what her skills are. So by bringing those two skills together, we're able to do more together than if we were to individually try to do it.
Yeah, so that's another thing I think, like I have partners in my business too, and it wouldn't work if our skill sets were all the same.
Right.
Like our skill sets have to offset each other. And a lot of people, they think it sounds good at the time when you're buddy with somebody, and they're like, I want to go into business doing this. I want to do this. So let's be partners.
Right.
Like you need somebody that actually is going to be the opposite of checking you at different turns, because you have to have that balance. Have you read the book Rocket Fuel by any chance?
I have not. No.
Okay, I'm going to add it to your proper library.
Perfect.
Right? Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm
you
going to
should.
stick it in there, and I'm going to probably follow up and hold you accountable, make
Yeah.
sure that you read it. But
Love that.
No, it's great. It's basically the whole theory is there's two kinds of people, and you're either one way, a certain way, and another. So there's basically a visionary and an integrator.
Yep.
You understand where I'm going with it?
100%.
Yeah. So me, I'm heavily visionary. I have ideas all day. I'm willing to take massive action, like 10x that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to like actually doing it and putting it into play, I'm like, I want to do it, but I don't know how we're going to do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what do I need? I need somebody that's heavily integrator. They don't really understand it, or they're like, I see what you're doing, but also I'm the one that can also make all this happen on the back end.
Right,
So I'm
right.
sure you have a bunch of integrators in your business because you're the entrepreneur. You know, you're the guy with the 10x vision, but you need people on the ground floor helping you make it happen, because you need a social media manager, and you need somebody that's going to run your content and all this stuff, because you're not going to sit there and edit videos all
Correct.
day.
Yeah, I have integrators in every business that I have. So, like with Samantha and Proper Salon for Men, we hired an operations manager, and
There you
she's
go.
our integrator, right? Cheyenne. With my real estate business, Milen's been with me for 6 years. She's my integrator there. Now, on the AI side of things that we're building right now, Tatiana is my integrator there. And so every time there's got to be a level that you can basically have and come and report to you, as well as you give direction. And then, like, it's not going to be perfect all the time, and you have to be okay with that. No one's going to do exactly what you envision, but by having leverage, by having other people help you, all together can build something bigger and nicer.
Yeah, one of my thing is I'm bad at like giving people direction. So I'm like, hey, this is what I want to do. Just go make a whole bunch of mistakes, and we'll figure it out after that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're like, how do you want me to do this? And I'm just like, hey, just do it. And like, if every mistake, I'll take accountability for it, because I'm not giving you the direction that you need. But just go fuck it up.
That's exactly how I am, and it probably bothers our integrators, because
Right.
they're like, well, what exactly do you want
They
me to
need
do?
step-by-step
I'm like,
processes.
I don't know. Just go do it. It might be wrong. Whenever it comes back, we'll figure it out, right? I'm still gonna pay you for your time, whether it was wrong or not. you
Yeah.
know? So it's like, let's just have the big vision. It might take longer than what we think. You may not be okay with the speed that we're moving, but we're going to do it.
Yeah, and they're like, well, what's the process and what's the step by step? And it's like, you build the step by step,
Right,
and then
right.
we'll go through it and figure it out.
Yeah, and it's that team aspect of things, right? Like every single one of our integrators have skills that I don't have, and so that's why you hire other people for their skill sets, and you bring them into your circle.
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned leveraging AI. So, like, what are some things maybe you're doing to leverage AI in your business, your personal life, things like that?
So I first of all use ChatGPT every single day, so much that my fiance thinks I'm cheating on her with ChatGPT.
And it stores all your memory, right? Like you're having it, like you're feeding it as much
Yeah.
as it can to know
And,
about
and
you.
I'm a paid user of it, and I run out of memory, and I have to delete some stuff in their memory.
So
I have to
how
do
do
that
you
this
know?
morning.
How do you know if you've run out of memory?
It'll tell you, like it just told me this morning.
I don't know
so-
if it's done that, because I looked up something, like I think we had our contract in there for our property management company, and I like, hey, referencing the contract, can they do this, that, and the other? And I was like, please upload your contract. And I was like, maybe I need to buy more memory or something. I don't know. It didn't save it. I said save this to memory, and then like a long time happened, and I guess like maybe I missed the notification.
Well, I try to buy more memory, but you can't.
Oh, they only give you so much?
So I was even to the point to where, like, I know that there's enterprise packages, like those should probably have more memory. I was talking to ChatGPT about how to get more memory, and it was like, yeah, you could do that, but it's like, okay, how much is it gonna be? Well, you have to contact the sales team.
There's just too many people, like, I don't know, I don't understand the tech behind it. But maybe there's a limited supply of memory. I don't know.
But I would say ChatGPT, I mean, while it's so great, like there's so many other tools that are, of course, customizable and specific to different things. Like, for example, Descript is a great video editing app. And then there's also Sintra AI, where you can buy basically 12 different executives that are trained for your business. And it has memory of your business. You upload your website and everything. And so you can have a graphic designer, you can have an accountant, you can have everything, but it's all AI, right? But they're just different models that are trained specific to that role. Then I have a voice assistant that I'm building so that whenever I'm busy with family or at dinner or with another client, rather than my phone going to voicemail.
Is it your voice?
I can make it my voice. I'm not going to make it my voice.
You're going to make it like assistant person or
yeah,
something.
like a different person.
Yeah, because if they goof up, then they think, maybe
Well,
you're a goof or
I don't
something.
ever want to, like, my whole thing is being authentic, and I don't want to pretend that my AI is me. I want to have, it'll be very specific and say,
What's
hey.
their name going to be?
I don't know if I'm going to name it.
They got to have a name, right?
Well,
Their assistant.
the product itself is called listingline.ai.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but as far as naming the little voice, each person can name the voice however they want.
Gotcha.
But it's not meant to replace me. Like, every call that I'm able to take, I'm still going to take. But let's say I'm with another client. Rather than that phone call going to voicemail, my voice assistant will be able to schedule them on my calendar directly or answer information about property. So it's more about not ever missing a phone call, not ever missing a lead, and being able to continue to grow and have leverage.
Yeah, and a lot of those phone calls end up being a waste of your time, to where something like that can actually just, like, scheduling an appointment.
Yeah.
Like, it takes you a while to take the call, then you start making small talk with that person, and then you're like, okay, well, I got to go to my computer. I'll be right there. I'm going to pull up my calendar. It's like all that could have been done by AI. Like, a lot of these, we have this in our property management software. Like, we have AI that is like the ground floor, right? And then it can solve all these problems because we have SOPs loaded into it. So, like, where's the backup code to get in the house if the door lock dies?
Right.
And you don't want people on that line doing that, because they may not see that message for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the guest is trying to get in the
Or
house.
they may be sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And it's 12:30 at night,
Yeah.
right? So we have a SOP for the AI thing to do it, and then, like, once it's done, it goes to a next level of, like, okay, human interaction is needed at this point, where there's actual manual interaction. But, like, we see, like, 90% of the problems are, like, solved, and they're solved in seconds.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's crazy. So, like, people have this mindset of, like, oh, well, it's taking, like, you're in a hospitality business, you're taking, the hospitality out of it. I'm like, no, we're actually solving the problems quicker. If
Right.
anything, like, people would rather get into the house, in this example, right now, versus wait 30 minutes for a human to reach out to them.
It's funny,
right?
like, with as many listeners as we have on the ground, like, everyone's calling my phone, and the most common phone call I get is, I'm inquiring about the property, I'm on, and they don't know what street they are, and then they finally say the street name, but they don't know the address. So that's the whole, like, 4 minutes of the phone call is them just trying to figure out where it's at. Well, the AI can help them with that, because if they say the street name or the house number, it has all the information of my listings, and it can help them figure out which one it is and answer the specific questions. And then if they want to talk to me, it'll schedule them on my calendar.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay, interesting. And then you said something about there's something like go back to what you were saying about there's like there's an accountant side of like a channel for like accountant digital marketing.
Yeah,
like
so-
what it like break that down just a little bit.
So that's a different tool. That one's called Sintra.
Okay.
Sintra, and I believe it's like $120 for the year. Like that's so wild. Also with all these AI tools, so you can leverage so much, and it's really not
They're
that
very cheap.
wild. And so with that one, it's basically ChatGPT. But like with ChatGPT, are you familiar with like custom GPTs?
like a certain channel.
So within ChatGPT, you enter this long prompt, right? Whenever if you wanted to like create something visually for you, you can enter a super long prompt to say like act as a professional like
Sure.
visual director and blah 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 blah, right? Well, you can create custom GPTs so that this is going to be my person that creates visuals. This is going to be my person that answers emails or my ChatGPT, right? Sintra has already done all of that work for you. And so basically it has all the main roles of a business and you just plug in your information, tie it to your website. It has the knowledge base of your business. And then it can answer questions specific to marketing, specific to sales, specific to accounting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing like, and I don't know if this is the right route, but I think we're gonna get like whatever the biggest the team's version is, and I think we're gonna have every VA and person on the team all have their own account. There's somebody obviously integrating this, so I haven't seen it yet, but I
Sure.
think that everyone's gonna have their own account, and I guess we're having like we're gonna have our Google Drive and everything related to Lazy Age retreats attached in there. So like, it will help facilitate literally everything we do, and like all of our SOPs are loaded in there. So I don't know, we're trying that, so we'll see how that goes. But it sounds like this, basically what you're saying is pretty similar
Yeah.
to that kind of setup.
Yeah, bottom line is if you're not using AI, like you should start, right? Like it's growing so fast and it's going to change so much over the next few years that if you're not interacting with it every single day, like you're going to get left behind.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten like your blood work done?
Oh yeah, and I upload it into ChatGPT.
Damn it, dude. That was my next nugget, but like you already done it. So you got like professional blood work done, you put it in ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and you said, act as my concierge functional medicine doctor. I don't want to take pills and mask these. I want to find the underlying problems. Where am I deficient in all this? And it read your blood work and told you what you needed to do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and did you find that was like better than actually using a like a regular doctor?
So yeah, a funny thing happened. Actually, my fiance just got her blood work done last week. And,
Dude, I thought I was like onto something, man.
yeah, it's so wild. And
I was like, dude, you're so ahead of the game. Like, nobody's gonna know.
well, then she had her appointment to go over the blood work a week later, right? And I was like, don't wait for a week. Let's just throw it into ChatGPT. And so we did. She got the results. A week later, she has her actual appointment, and the doctor told her just maybe 10% of what ChatGPT had told her.
Oh my
And
gosh,
ChatGPT
that's so
was
funny.
Everything the doctor said was already in her, in what ChatGPT
But
said.
it was 10% of basically what it was. That's
Right.
crazy because I did it knowing that was going to happen. So I
Yeah.
did, like, she went to the appointment. I never did. I was just like, I'll do this myself.
Yeah, yeah.
This is going to be better in ChatGPT. And I basically set up the doctor to tell me, and it gave me some vitamins and some supplements to take. It told me maybe some recommendations on peptides, but that's just kind of a foreign subject to me. So I'm trying to like do my homework, do my due diligence, figure out if it does make sense. I think there maybe like with stuff like that, there is a point where you probably want to include like a professional person, but like from like a dieting and supplementation perspective, like, hey, you're deficient in vitamin D. Okay, I didn't even know that. Maybe that's why I feel like crap or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to start taking this. So did you identify some stuff in your diet or whatever that you shouldn't be eating, or you?
Yeah, I identified things in my diet, things I was doing wrong in my workout for what my goals were. So, I mean, it's just, I use it every single day for not just business, but all parts of my life.
Where do you work out at?
John Newcomb Estates at the country club.
Oh,
over
okay,
there.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even been there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's a tennis club community, and I play a lot of pickleball there.
Yeah, isn't that where they have all those pickleball courts?
Yeah, that's right.
They do like Jerry the DJ. Shout out to Jerry. He does. I think he DJs, and then it's
once
like,
a month we have him out.
Is that like your event or something? Or
No,
you just go. It's
I'm a member of the club. I live there, so I mean I play pickleball, and once a month he comes out, and we have so much fun when he comes out because we have loud music just banging while we play pickleball.
Yeah, it's like isn't it like a Thursday during the month or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Okay, I've never been, but it looks like fun.
It's a lot of fun.
So like, are you like really into it? Like, are you like get after it?
Oh
out
yeah,
there?
yeah. I just started playing last
So you're
November.
intense to play with, or are you more of like the fun guy? Like, hey, let's just get it back and forth. You're like, no, dude, let's get after it.
I honestly play to the level of my competition. situation. Like I never want to
okay,
be the
okay.
asshole like slamming it down.
So
on
you read the
someone.
room.
I read the room.
Okay.
Yeah. There's many people that are much better than me. Like I'm intermediate. Like just to be clear, like I'm not advanced or anything. But if I'm playing with somebody that's a beginner, I'm not gonna go slam it on their face.
They do like they do like some real estate meetups at the three courts in town there. I think it's called like New Braunfels Pickleball.
MB Pickleball. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's like right over here. We're really
dude,
close
they
to it.
do it there, and it's like I thought I was like pretty good like
Yeah.
for a while, and then like these like middle-aged women that
Yeah.
like play every day.
Yeah.
They just come in there and they just crush my
Oh, yeah.
confidence.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, I was picking up like, dude, you're picking this up quick. Like, dude, you're the guy. Like, you're the pickleball guy.
Yeah.
They came in, they shut that down.
Oh, yeah.
They shut it down real quick. But they played like every day. They were getting after it.
Oh yeah, it's for everyone, right? Like you can be older with bad knees, you can be a younger kid. Like I've seen all kinds of people in all kinds of shapes, and everybody has a different skill set within pickleball, and it's so much fun and social, and it's just interesting seeing like, oh, you would never be able to play pickleball, and then they whip your ass.
Right, they're doing backhands. And
Yeah.
it's all that stuff. Yeah, my dad, he plays it, and it's like he retired a few years ago, and I guess he was just gonna like ride his bike and work out and stuff, and then I guess his retirement plan now is kind of like pickleball.
Yeah.
He didn't even know that was gonna happen. So
Well, it's so
anyways.
interesting because I was playing so much, and a lot of times, like it starts at 9 a.m. and would finish at like 11. And I like to work, and I was getting to the office at like noon, and that was so weird for me, right? And I was like, I gotta stop playing pickleball.
Like an addiction kind of.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, I started getting business from pickleball and the people that I met there because it's all about relationships. My business is relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the more people I can connect with and go deep with, the more my business grows.
It's almost like how people play golf in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can play pickleball to network, you can play pickleball to do that. It's almost like the new golf. And then also golf's always outdoors. So like it's Texas. Like
Yeah.
I don't even golf anyways, but like if it's like 90 something degrees outside, well there's maybe an indoor pickleball
Sure.
court that you go to. Yeah, there's some realtors in town that host some good fun events.
Yeah. Actually, Morgan from my team, she started Four Girls Club, which is a club for girls that like to play golf. So it's female only, and it's here in town. And she's growing to about 900 members so far. And they get together and just have fun on the golf course, and she's generating business that way.
But they're playing golf.
They're playing golf.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, interesting. What else? What all? You do anything else around town? Any events? Anything you like to go to monthly or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I mean, whenever I first moved here, I didn't know anybody,
Sure.
like not a single person. And knowing that real estate is about relationships, I made myself go to all the Chamber of Commerce events, all of the JC's events.
Okay.
And I was really just focused on filling my calendar with events in New Braunfels so I could meet the people of New Braunfels. Now I don't go to them as often just because I'm so busy with actual work. But if I was a new agent moving to a new town and I didn't know anybody, that's what I would spend my time on. It's just going to networking events. They don't have to be real estate events. Actually, I would say do not go to real estate events because it's only realtors there. Go to events where you're participating in the community and volunteering, so you're actually meeting the people of that community.
okay, gotcha. That makes sense. So like, if you're a new agent, don't go to real estate events because there's going to be a bunch of new agents.
It's
Or a
going to
bunch
be
of other new
realtors,
agents.
lenders, and title people.
Yeah, so you're just like making other connections of people that do the same
Yeah.
thing as you that you maybe can't really do business
Right.
with. So
I
let's
go,
talk.
I go to realtor events in different markets because they're not in my market, and so we can collaborate and send business back and forth to each other.
Gotcha. So that what are some other like? Let's say there's somebody listening to this and they're like, "Hey, man, I really like this guy. I like what he's built. I want to be a top producing agent." Like, what's one thing or what's something that they can? What should they do to start building their brand and their business? Like,
Yeah, I would say first focus on your skills. Like you have to know what you're doing, right, to be able to provide good service. But once you kind of master that, then focus on your brand and put yourself out there, but do it while being authentic because people want to connect with you. They don't want to connect with the professional version of you or this mask that you're putting on. They want to know who you really are. And some people are going to vibe with you and some people are not, and that's okay. You don't need all people in the world to do business with you. You need those people that really like, know, and trust you.
It reminds me of somebody I met the other day. I met the speed tour guy.
Okay.
You see him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy that runs
I just
around the
watched
house.
him. Yeah.
And he's like a big following, right?
Yeah.
So I met him and I was like, "Oh, you're the guy that runs around the house and stuff."
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like cool though because he's built this massive brand because of it. But a lot of people, they probably hate on the comments. They're saying like, "This is stupid." Like,
Yeah.
he was like 20 years old. I was talking to him.
He's
like
crushing it.
Super bright. Yeah. Super smart kid.
I would never do what he's doing, but it's working for him.
It's authentic though.
Yeah, that's what he's
back
doing.
to your point,
Yeah,
and
right.
it's worth it. So I think like you drive the whole point home of everything in life is like figure out who the truest, most authentic version of yourself is and lean into that and be that person, right?
Even with my team, I tell them, don't try to do what I do because we're different. Like figure out what works for you with social media, with networking, with open houses. Like don't do it my way. Like learn from me, but then find your way of doing it.
So I love that. So let's say your way of doing it. We're going to go to you today. So let's say it's 2025. Your brand is pretty well established as a luxury realtor, right?
Correct.
High end luxury. So like, are you willing to take maybe regular suburban homes?
We take everybody.
Okay,
We help
so-
everyone.
So you would, but do you have someone else on your team that like, hey, like maybe I only want to focus on houses 2 million and up because that's where my time is best allocated, and you have somebody else on your team where they can maybe do smaller transactions where they're also getting their reps in and learning from somebody like you. I mean, how do you manage that? I'm not a realtor, so I'm just trying to understand like what's the business side of this thing.
No, that's a great question because every real estate team is different, right? And some of them will operate the way that you just mentioned, like I will only take this leads, you will take those leads. The way we operate is I touch every single client that comes through. My team members help with showings, with all the client-facing stuff, but I'm always the one doing the negotiating, doing the critical conversation. So the high-level stuff that moves the needle, I'm involved. Whether that's directly through talking to the client or if that agent has that personal connection with them, then I'll just coach the agent on what to say. So everyone that comes through our ecosystem, they have my attention on them.
Okay, gotcha. So more of like big picture, making sure things are going smoothly, making sure the deal gets done. Then you have people in the place, in the back end, kind of running things, making sure. all's good.
Yeah, I figured out a long time ago that I wanted to run my business from my phone. So anywhere I was in the world, I travel so much, but I always let my clients know I'm not on vacation. I'm in a different location. And it's true. Like I'll be in Tulum on the beach negotiating a $2 million deal. Like it just doesn't stop. Whenever that phone call comes in,
So
you gotta
what
take
if
care
it's
of it.
11:30 at night and you're asleep?
Well, you have
You gonna
to
take it or not?
Well, there's no real emergencies in real estate. Everything can be solved within 24 hours. And I
Okay.
think most realtors burn out because of that reason, because
I
they
would-
think
I
that
would
they
burn
have to
out,
take
yeah.
that phone call. And the thing is, unless the house is on fire or flooding, call the plumber or the fireman, right? Like I'm not going to be able to solve that problem. But if it's a transaction problem, like I can call you back the next morning, and that's what I do. And I train my clients like that. If they call me at 11:30 at night, I'm not answering. And it's not that I saw the call and didn't answer. It's like my phone's away. Once I get home and I decide that I'm done for the day, I put my phone in another room.
And same with your team too, or like if you
That's what I try to teach my
you,
team.
You tell them not to. There's no reason to do that.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard at the beginning because you're hungry, right? And you want to get to it. But the thing is, no one has ever complained about me calling them back first thing next morning. And I don't even say, hey, sorry, I didn't get your call. Like, I just call them like, hey, how's it going? Got your call? Like, and I just go straight into what they need.
Yeah, I love that. That makes sense. I do want to talk. Sorry, we just cut that part out. Where was I going with this? Oh, I wanted to talk about what about like how about outside of work? Like let's talk about daily routine and stuff like that. Is there some things that to you that are kind of like non-negotiable?
Yeah.
Like whether that be the gym, the diet, whatever. What's important to you that must get done every day?
So I wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. every single morning. It used to be 5 a.m. all the time, and it was a hard alarm, and I'll wake up, and now my body's used to it, so now I don't have to have an alarm. Sometimes I'll just wake up naturally, but it will always be before 6 a.m. And I'd start with working out, making sure that I go to the gym. I walk to the gym, so I have 20 minutes of just walking in nature to the gym. Then I get to the gym, and I just focus on myself, right? Then I come back to the house. I have a cold plunge at the house. I'll do a cold plunge.
Oh man, you do all that wild stuff.
And I have an infrared sauna too.
I've never done it
I'll do
before,
the
man.
infrared sauna as well.
So how have you noticed any benefits from that? Like how is that? How is the cold plunge and the? I've never done it. I've never
Dude,
done any cryo thing.
It could be 5 a.m. You just woke up super tired. You get in that thing, you're wide awake. So it just shocks your nervous system.
Post gym or pre gym?
Both. You can do it before or after.
But
It
what
just
do you
depends.
do? Depends on the day?
Yeah, I'm not like this is what I'm doing like every single time. Like I just kind of flow in the morning and whatever. Like, but the things I do is read, podcasts, work out, breath work, cold plunge, and sauna. And I'll do those as I see fit that morning.
But it's basically a morning routine then.
It's
right?
my morning routine.
Yeah, I feel like that's happened with me. Like I also go to bed. I try to go to bed like 9 o'clock. 7 hours is usually enough, 7 to 8.
Yeah.
And then I started waking up or on my own without an alarm around 5 or 6 also. And I realized this started happening when I stopped drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
Do you drink alcohol?
Yeah, occasionally, but
okay.
but I cut down on it.
Yeah, I think mine was more of like it was just too frequent that like I was drinking so frequently that it was just disrupting everything.
Yeah.
And instead, like now that I just completely cut it out, it's kind of like more like clockwork, and it's like that inconsistency, like that one Saturday or that one Sunday where I have 6 beers, and it's like, okay, the next day is like
Yeah.
I'm already at 70%. Then it's like throws me out. Then I go and get Raising Cane's because it's easier, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like it's all downhill from there. So like for me, it's always alcohol, but like I'm not saying that you can't.
Well,
drink
the
and
thing
do
is,
that.
we know what to do or and what not to do, right? And the thing is, every single year I do 30 days no drinking, no matter what. And ever since a few years ago, I have cut down significantly my drinking. So I'll probably have a drink on occasion, celebrating something, or whenever I decide it's time to go have fun with friends and relax. But I really try to cut down on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Trying to think, what else? Anything else you want to cover?
We got 17 properties that we manage in Tulum.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you mean, like, 17 properties that you manage in Tulum? Tell me about that.
So I bought an investment property in Tulum. It's a cash market. I went to Tulum about 7 years ago on a bachelor party, and then I went back a year later and I saw the growth.
Little geography here.
Yeah, for sure. And it's in the Caribbean side of Mexico, in the
Keep
Riviera
mentioning
Maya.
it. Is this like your spot? Like you
That's
love
my
going
spot,
there,
man.
or what?
Oh yeah, that's where I go all the time. 2 years ago, I was there 11 times in one
So
year.
what's this? Okay, so you got some properties there, and what's going on?
So I ended up investing in that market. Every market I go to, I love the real estate. I love to learn about the real estate. And I just saw a lot of growth happening in that market. So I started doing more research, connected with local realtors, right? Even though I'm in real estate, there's local agents that know that market. So I connected with them, learned about the market through them, ended up investing in property down there. And we bought in a condo that's 60 units, and it was a brand new construction project. And the thing is, we started renting it out, and a lot of other people started doing the same, but we're the first ones to close. We're the first ones to have it furnished and renting
Pioneers.
out. So we ended up getting all the 5-star reviews ahead of time. So now all of the other condos that were managed by other property managers, they weren't doing as well.
When you're
So-
saying property managers, I'm assuming this is obviously Airbnb, like vacation rentals type of
Correct.
stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
vacation rentals. In this scenario, I brought my parents in on it. It was a cash market, so it was $236 purchase price. That was all cash. So we went 50-50 on it. And my mom goes, I have nothing to do. I want to manage the property. Let's save the 25% management fee. I'm like, I have no problem with that. So she started doing that. She built a team down there, has the maintenance guy, has the cleaners and all that, and she manages everything through WhatsApp. Well, our unit started doing so well, she became a super host. And then all the other owners in that condo started asking us to manage their
Oh
properties.
shit! So you accidentally started a property management company.
Accidentally.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened to me. I got into vacation rentals because I bought my own first.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's figure this out. I figured it out, and I was like, other people were like, hey, can you figure my shit out? And I was like, all right, I guess I'll figure yours out too. And then all of a sudden, 65, units later. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So
There's
you guys,
60 units in that building, and we have 17 of them. So we control
that's
that building.
Crazy. So like that. So that's your property management company, and it's all on.
It's all in Tulum, and it's all in one building.
So like, what does your team look like? There's no way that your mom is sitting there and messaging all these Airbnb guests back, right? So like,
It's my mom, it's a cleaner, and it's a maintenance guy.
3 people.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Did
They
AI?
just-
She used a lot of AI. She has automatic responders and things
Okay,
like that.
okay.
And she has an assistant as well that
Okay.
helps her. Yeah.
Where's this at again?
It's in Tulum, Mexico. Yep. Yeah, it's one of the fastest growing areas of Mexico right now.
Interesting. So why this market? Just because you like visit it, or you just found like, hey, like the numbers work, like we can make.
It was multiple things. Whenever you're an investor, there's different ways to invest. And what I realized early on is that I'm a lifestyle investor. I like to invest in places that I'm actually going to go and spend time myself. And so
Yeah.
that's why I bought the property in Tulum. But I did so much research, and I knew there was an international airport coming to Tulum, because originally you had to fly into Cancun and drive 2 hours down. But I knew that there was an international airport coming. I knew that there was a high-speed train connecting Cancun and Tulum. So there was a lot of infrastructure projects there. Then in COVID, all the influencers went to Tulum because Tulum stayed open while the rest of the world was shut down.
Okay.
So there was a big push to Tulum, and that's when I decided to, this is the right market, let's invest. And what I like about it, that's it right there. It's that because it's a cash market, there's a harder barrier to entry for investors. And at the same time, whenever there's no rentals, people are not freaking out and selling the properties for a discount because they're not being able to pay their mortgage because everyone's paid for. So the market doesn't fluctuate as much as it does over here.
So how many units is it total under management, like roughly? Because that's a lot of math.
Well, we have 17.
17 times what?
What do you mean?
17 units?
Yeah, 17 units.
But they're okay. So like, how many Airbnb listings is that?
Yeah, that's 17.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. I misunderstood.
17
what you're saying.
condos in one building.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then you guys own
Oh, I own one of them.
One of the condos.
Yeah, I own one of the condos, and then
Oh.
we own the property management that manages the 17.
Well, so you guys have so there's not one unit in there managed by someone else.
Well, there's 60 units in the whole building.
Oh, okay.
There's multiple property managers, and out of
Okay.
that whole 60 units, we manage 17 of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That
So
makes
far, it keeps increasing.
Yeah, because you can start picking them off once they see your listings and
Yeah.
your review, because they're gonna look at their competitors and be like,
Right.
He's over here got more 5 stars. What are they doing? This guy, you can start.
The
adding
phone call
them.
we usually get is, "Hey, our management agreement's about to expire. Can we talk to you?"
What do you guys use? So you guys use do you guys use like a property management software or anything like that, or?
Yeah, my mom does. She handles all that.
Questions for her.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to get her in here and just do a part 2.
Yeah,
Without
exactly.
you though.
Exactly,
I'm just kidding.
exactly.
No, that's interesting though. That's crazy. That's awesome that they do that. So they're running Airbnbs out there in Tulum. That's
No,
interesting.
it's so funny when you have integrators and good people that help you with your businesses. Like, I have questions that I can't answer, but I know that my team handles them.
How's the location? Like, how's the location of your spot? Like, is it pretty close to the beach and all that?
Yeah, so the way Tulum's set up is all the beach is owned by boutique hotels. They're all usually 10 to 20 rooms total, and you can't own property there. It's all taken. Then the next best spot is called Aldea Sama, which is a master plan community. All the utilities are underground. They have a commercial side. They have restaurants. They have the nightlife and everything. That's where we bought. So we're 4 minutes from the beach by car, 15-minute bike ride to the beach. So we're the closest you can be as far as owning property.
How's like this may be another question for your mom, but like how are the restrictions and regulations there compared to like, I guess every market in the U.S. is different, but is there like a lot of restrictions and rules to follow, or is it more of just like
So
Go for it.
when we first started, it was the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that there's such an influx of properties and Airbnbs and short-term rentals there, they started to regulate it. So they just now last year started to regulate it. But Tulum's it's basically like a baby for a vacation rental market. So they're just starting to figure it out.
And it's great for the local economy too. So like they wouldn't want to regulate it too much, right? Because people are going there and spending money, right?
It's all tourism down there.
Yeah. So the bulk of their economy thrives on that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean the way that they're regulating it is by making sure that you have the right safety things in place.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. Good regulations.
Yeah, good regulation. And I actually like it because it makes that barrier to entry harder, right? So it's like we're going to go through the process of making sure we qualify and apply and make it sure that we have the right permits.
Yeah.
But maybe other people won't.
Yeah, and it's similar to like the short-term rental market. We manage some houses in Canyon Lake.
Yeah.
So like Canyon Lake is like the Wild West, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like you can put like a porta potty up there and you can rent it out to people, right?
Yeah.
So and there's no regulations, but then it's like then it comes to like, okay, there's an oversaturation of listings here.
Yeah.
So what does that do to the nightly rate?
Yeah.
Obviously tanks it. So like everyone has a short-term rental in this Canyon Lake area.
Yeah.
But then people are like, well, I have this really awesome house, but it's not really making any money. It's because there's no regulations and anybody can put up a listing anywhere.
Sure.
And there's an oversaturation of them. So like to your point exactly, it's like sometimes regulations are good and property standards need to meet a certain code or whatever.
Yeah.
And it makes nightly rates go up. There's, less competition. So people that are doing it the right way can actually make the money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you enter a business that's super easy to get into, you want those barriers to entry just
Sure.
because you want to have to jump over those hurdles. So there's not as much competition jumping in.
Yeah, and I think that's like, and then you go to like Fredericksburg, for example, which is way different.
Yeah.
Fredericksburg has a lot of regulations. You got to pass this inspection this time of year, and if you miss it, they take your permit away and stuff
Right.
like that. So it's like it keeps competition high. It keeps nightly rates high. So when nightly rates are high, who are the people that are coming? People that can afford higher nightly rates. So
Correct.
you get better clientele in there. And then you go to Canyon Lake and there's a bunch of people throwing house parties and stuff like that
Yeah.
because the rates are $150, $200 a night.
And that's a good point about the nightly rates. Like, we could rent our place more if we lowered it, but we choose to keep it high because we'd rather have less bookings with higher income and higher quality people that rent them as well, and also less cleaning fees, right?
Yeah, less wear and tear,
Yeah.
less, responding back to owners that are mad because this was damaged because they gotta, and it's not foolproof, right? Like people that pay a lot of money to go stay somewhere, they can be bad guests too,
Sure,
right? So
yeah.
like, but to your point, exactly, like it mitigates your risk.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I agree. I think there's power in like just keeping the quality high, keeping reviews high, and keeping your nightly rates relatively
yeah.
high because you can get it booked, but at what cost?
And the best part is I have a closet there with all my stuff. If I decide to, I can get on the 9 a.m. flight tomorrow and be there by lunch,
And that's your getaway there, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
what other? So let's say you want to buy. Is there any other markets that you're interested in that you like visiting? So like, I envision like a beach market maybe during
Yeah.
the summer or something like that, or maybe like a mountain market.
A mountain, yeah, that would
Is
be
that
next.
on your is that on your bucket list
Yeah,
or what?
yeah. Somewhere in the mountains would be next.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then somewhere in Europe would be after that.
Okay. So you can, yeah, there's like, okay, well, at what point, like, I guess it's got to be a good investment, right? It's got to cash
Right.
flow.
It's got to make sense.
Yeah, it's got to make sense because if you're going there and it doesn't cash flow, then you might as well just book your own vacation and stay at someone else's place, right?
Right. It's got to cash flow. It's got to appreciate. It's got to be in a good market. It's got to make sense.
So let's talk about what you got. Any listings now that you want to shout out, or anything you
Yeah.
got in the area?
Well, I got one that maybe we can work on together.
That's dope.
So it's in Canyon Lake, and it can be a short-term rental. It's completely furnished, great views of the lake, and but it's never been rented before, so they don't have rental numbers. But maybe you can help me with projections, and then maybe we can brand it to where we can hand it off nicely to you once the investor buys it.
That's dope. I love it. That's a great softball for exactly what we do. So I'm also like willing to do that for any realtors. I do them all the time, and we have people on our team that does them. Even like we say no to probably 90% of people that want to work with us because we're similar to you, like only do high-end luxury homes, right? So I'll still run comps all day long for those people. And I'm sure I know the houses you sell, it definitely will probably fit our buy box of what we want to manage. But yeah, like from that perspective, we definitely do that. So we'll run comps and say it's just 5-bed, 5-bath, pool, views. Okay, well, let's go figure out, it's not rocket science, but it does take some time to do. And a lot of realtors tell me like, "Oh yeah, I can do that too." And I'm like, "No, you can't.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Not as good as me. Like
Right.
you can't just plug the address into somewhere like AirDNA and it just
Right.
spits out a number and you're like, use that number. You really got to look at the data
Yep.
and look at the comps. So yeah, if they're an investor and I never like fluff the numbers or anything
Sure.
like that, right? Like I always go, hey, this is the conservative number. Like this is what probably maybe like middle of the road or worst case scenario it's going to look like. This is the best case scenario, and just being honest and transparent with that. So yeah, I'd love to look at it and see see what it
Yeah,
what it
because
looks like.
once you start working with them, if your numbers were higher and then they turn out to be lower, they're coming after you, right?
Yeah, then you look like just like a scummy person,
Yeah.
right? Like you're just like, you said it would do this. And I've done that before, honestly, but I did it on accident. Like I didn't intentionally, like I was like, hey, I wasn't trying to do this. I really thought this property would perform better than
Sure.
it does. But it was never like with ill intention of like, I need this to get the deal.
Yeah.
I'll rather just not do it. Like we're good.
Yeah.
Like the business is just going to keep flowing, right? So if it's not
Sure.
a good fit, it's no biggie. But yeah, dude, I would absolutely love to look at it.
And something I would like to clarify is you mentioned we sell a lot of luxury homes, which we do, right? Like
Sure.
we attract a lot of luxury sellers and a lot of luxury buyers, but we help everyone. We help every price point. I sell $50,000 lots, I sell $200,000 homes, and I sell $8 million properties, right? So I have the team, the systems, and the ability to handle every client in Central Texas that comes in.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. I think for us and in property management, we're not trying to necessarily be the biggest and the baddest because, like, for us, there's a lot of our competitors. They play like the volume game.
Yeah.
To where there's power in staying small and managing like from a boutique perspective because at the property management level, like if you get too big, a lot of times quality starts to suffer.
I agree.
So you have to be selective with what you say yes to.
Yep.
So that's kind of hard, but like in your industry it's different because like you can accommodate everything and help push any kind of thing, but there's certain properties where I'm like, man, once we pay all our expenses, it's going to make this much money. It's like we're going to be paying to manage this property, right? So
But to your point, like my team is a boutique team, right? Like I get a call maybe once or twice a week about someone wanting to join my team, and there is that model of just bringing on as many agents as you can to be this huge team.
Just volume, yeah.
But to your point, I rather have quality, so I keep my team small on purpose so that we can provide that quality service.
Yeah, and I think it's not that we're anti-growth. It's just more of like very selective growth over a long period of time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my take on it, and it's just like keeping the brand standard high. So when people go to our website, they're like, okay, I know exactly the kind of properties they manage. And you know by going to our website if your property fits or doesn't fit. So yeah, there is that. But we also have partners with other people that maybe do want that kind of business.
Sure.
So like I'm always willing to help. And if not, like today I had a call with somebody that were inquiring about our services. At the end of the call, I convinced them to manage themselves.
Yeah.
Because he was like a software engineer, and I was like, dude, if you just download this, and this, and automate some messages and do this, that, and the other, he's like, you don't need me. Just save your money. Don't pay me.
Yeah.
And you just do it. And he just appreciated that like 10 times more. And guess what? When the time comes and he has somebody that maybe does fit our buy box,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that business all day long.
Well, right. It's being a go-giver, right? And showing value and giving value where it can. And whenever it's not the right fit, being honest and transparent, that's actually going to take you further.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so interesting, right? Like I learned a long time ago, I didn't like to receive. Like I was really good about giving value, but I was not open to accepting value. And then I read The Go-Giver, which the last law of the Go-Giver is being open to receive. And by being open to receive, you allow somebody else to have the gift to give, and you're just building this mutual connection, and your world just starts improving.
Go-Giver. Okay, I wrote that down. I'm gonna have to read that. But the centralized theme is like give,
Yeah, just give value.
and then it'll eventually come back to you.
Correct. Yeah. And it's not like I give this, so I should get something back there. It's just being a giver, and then in return, the world will return that to you.
Yeah,
right? So it's not like a
I'm,
transactional.
I'm giving this to you, but I want something
Right.
out of it. It's like, no, I'm just giving to give.
Yeah.
And the world, the universe will return the favor.
Correct.
But you had to learn how to receive it
Yeah.
when it was presented to yourself.
Yeah, like if somebody wanted to do me a favor or wanted to do something for me, I just didn't want to owe somebody something.
Yeah, you felt, but that was your turn.
Right,
Yeah,
that was my turn, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, but that's a hard realization to have. I think there's a few books in your deal. Like what is like at Proper, you got the book section there, and then one of them I bought and I hadn't read yet. I think it was Outliers. Did you read that one? Or
No,
it's in your,
I don't know. Yeah,
there. Okay.
I think people have been putting books in there,
Okay,
which is great.
Because I just mentioned that at the beginning of the podcast, how I was going to like sneak some books in there. But yeah, what's one or two books that like you said, Rich Dad Poor Dad? Anything else that you like maybe read once a year, or books that maybe have changed your life, or
Yeah.
something like that you'd recommend? Maybe
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. Okay.
That's mindset. The Miracle Morning, that's for your morning routine. The Go-Giver, which we just talked about. And then selfishly, I'm in one book called The One Thing That Changed Everything. I wrote a chapter in that book, became an Amazon #1 bestseller.
Dope.
But there's 30 other entrepreneurs and business owners in that book that have great stories, and it's just an inspirational book.
Yeah, but you wrote it at the time before ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you're a true like author.
Yeah.
I feel like you could just like write a book right now and just be like, hey, you have all my ChatGPT data loaded, like write my story.
I wrote a book driving back from Houston with ChatGPT.
That's crazy.
Because
That's crazy.
my philosophy in real estate is be a friend first and a realtor second. So
Sure.
that's how I lead. Like I don't look to see if I can help you buy or sell a house. I see if we can be friends.
Yeah.
And by doing that, my business has grown over time. So driving back from Houston, a 3-hour drive, just talking back and forth with ChatGPT, we wrote a book.
That's crazy. Were you by yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if someone's in there, it might be a little bit weird, but no, that's cool.
Yeah. But the one thing that changed everything, it's on Amazon. It became a #1 bestseller. And I think I read that book a lot of times because of all the other stories that are in there. I was 25 years old at the time. I wanted to write a book just so I could prove to the world that I was worth talking to.
Sure. There's some credibility that comes with it, right?
Yeah, but I thought I had to write a whole book. And then by networking and meeting the right people, I met Kyle Wilson, who was Jim Rohn's business partner. Jim Rohn's the one that said you're the average of the people you spend the most time
he's
with.
got those like real old, he's an old guy. Is he still alive?
No, he's not.
Oh,
He's
but I've
not.
seen like his clips live on. Like,
Yeah,
I've seen
oh, yeah.
I've seen a lot of his
One
stuff.
of the first like personal development people out there.
OG.
Yeah, and so Kyle Wilson was his business partner, the marketer behind him, and I got to build a relationship with him. And I told him my idea about writing a book, and he's like, "Hold on, Inaky, if that's what you wanted for, I'm about to put out a book. I would love for you to write a chapter in it." And so because of that relationship, right, going back to relationships, all I had to do was write one chapter, and it became a #1 bestseller. And that was not even an intention of mine.
Yeah, and you got to cut the line because of your relationship, so you didn't have to like, I mean, he was already going to put out a book that was going to get the attention for you.
Right.
So you didn't have to go out and organically draw up this attention and hype this book up. It's like this guy, my name is now attached to this guy's book. So, and you got a chapter out of it. So,
and back then I was 25 years old, and that was my business card. I would just pass it around, and that built instant credibility. So that helped me a lot whenever I was younger.
So would you recommend that that's a good route to go? Potentially getting something published, or
just write a small book or a guide or something, just something that to basically position you as the expert in your field, which you are, right? If you're working in that industry and field, you know more than the person that's not. So they're looking for your advice. So don't be afraid to position yourself as the expert.
I love it, man. We talked about a lot of good stuff today. J-Rock, how are we on time? Good? Anything? About an hour? Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I'm good. I'm good with whatever.
No, we can close it out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. J-Rock, any final thoughts?
I'm good to go, man. That was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and we're out of here.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Good deal?
Good job.
What was that book that you
Rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like kind of highlights visionary versus integrator.